two famous actors admit to killing Yu Menglong. Crime scene reenactment leaves everyone horrified. The cameras roll in complete silence. A single chair stands in the center of a dimly lit interrogation room. The air feels heavy, as though the truth itself is struggling to breathe. Hours earlier, investigators had announced an unthinkable twist. Two well-known figures from the entertainment world, both long suspected of hiding secrets, had finally confessed to their part in the conspiracy surrounding the death of beloved star Yu Menglong. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. They were not random suspects. They were the faces the public once cheered for, actors whose on-screen friendship with Yu Menglong had felt so heartbreakingly real. Now the cameras are rolling again, not for a film, but for the confession that will haunt the industry forever. The breaking of silence. The first actor, trembling, refuses eye contact with the officers. His voice is hoarse, cracked by sleepless nights. It was supposed to be simple, he says. A warning. Nothing more. He admits that months before Yu Menglong's death, he and another actor had been recruited by shadowy executives, men who feared Yu Menglong's growing independence and the evidence he had begun collecting. They were told to watch him, to report everything he said, every person he met, every file he stored. The second actor, younger and visibly shaken, whispers through tears, "We didn't think they'd go that far. We thought it was about money, not this." Across the table, investigators listen quietly. Each word chips away at the wall of secrecy that has protected the powerful for years. Recreating the night. Later that week, the court authorizes a crime scene reenactment, a reconstruction of the night Yu Menglong died. Reporters gather outside as the world watches through live broadcast feeds. Inside the soundstage built to mirror the hotel room, every detail is identical: the furniture, the lighting, even the faint hum of city noise beyond the window. The two actors stand in their assigned places, surrounded by investigators and forensic experts. Each step is documented, every movement measured. When the lead investigator signals for them to begin, the first actor can barely lift his head. "He was sitting by the window," he says softly. "We argued. I told him to delete the files. He refused." The second actor continues, his voice trembling. "I tried to calm him. He shouted at us to leave. Then there was a fall. It happened so fast." The room fills with an unbearable silence as the reenactment reaches the moment that changed everything. Even the officers, hardened by years of experience, look away. The evidence connects. Investigators reveal that digital forensics have now connected the two actors to the security logs of Yu Menglong's hotel suite. Keycard data, timestamp messages, and deleted phone calls confirm that both men were present minutes before his final breath. The confession, combined with this evidence, completes a puzzle that had tormented fans and authorities alike for months. The industry's glamorous facade begins to crack. Contracts are re-examined. Executives flee the country. Agents delete their social media accounts overnight. A world once built on image and illusion now stands exposed under the harsh light of truth. The world reacts. The public's response is immediate and overwhelming. Across social networks, billions of views accumulate on the live stream of the press conference. Candlelight vigils ignite again in Beijing, Seoul, and Singapore. Fans who had spent years mourning now stand in stunned disbelief. One journalist writes, "We are witnessing the collapse of a myth, the illusion that fame is protection." Another reporter adds, "This is not only about one man's death. It is about an industry's conscience." The outpouring of emotion becomes unstoppable. People speak not only of Yu Menglong's tragedy, but of every artist who has ever been silenced by power. The courtroom. Weeks later, the trial begins. The two actors, now witnesses to the greater truth, take the stand before a sea of cameras and reporters. Their voices are steady, but their faces carry the weight of what they've done. "We didn't kill him out of hatred," one says. "We killed him out of fear. Fear of the people who owned us." Gasps ripple through the courtroom. For the first time, the public hears about the secret contracts, the blackmail, the threats that kept so many silent. Yu Menglong had tried to break that silence, and paid the ultimate price. His courage, the witnesses admit, forced them to confront their own cowardice. When the judge adjourns for the day, the courtroom remains silent. Reporters don't rush to shout questions. Spectators don't move. It is as though everyone present understands that this moment will be remembered for decades. The legacy. By the end of the trial, new laws are drafted. A foundation is created in Yu Menglong's name, dedicated to protecting young artists and exposing industry abuse. The two actors are sentenced, not to vanish in disgrace, but to serve as witnesses in an ongoing investigation that reaches far beyond the entertainment world. Their testimonies become the cornerstone of a movement that will outlive them all. And through it all, Yu Menglong's image returns, projected across screens, painted on walls, shared endlessly online. Not as a victim, but as a symbol. The silent revolution. It begins with whispers. An investigative reporter, Mei Lin, describes how the story almost disappeared. We had evidence months before, she says, sitting beneath studio lights, her eyes heavy with exhaustion. But every time we tried to publish, someone higher up made the call to kill the piece. It wasn't until the confessions leaked that the walls finally broke. Across the screen, black and white images appear, piles of shredded contracts, encrypted drives, and anonymous envelopes left at journalists' doors. The narration continues. Truth has a strange way of surviving, even when buried under power, fear, and silence. The power behind the curtain. Investigators soon trace the threads beyond the two actors who confessed. They find money trails leading to powerful figures, producers, financiers, media magnates, all part of a silent network that had controlled careers and crushed dissent for decades. Hidden recordings emerge. Secret meetings, wire transfers, even coded text messages disguised as movie scripts. The narrator's voice cuts through the tension. What began as a tragedy became an exposure of an entire system built on manipulation, greed, and fear. A prosecutor on camera says, Yu Menglong wasn't just a victim. He was a threat because he was finally free. The global reaction. As the story spreads, the world reacts. In Seoul, a crowd of fans gathers at Gwanghwamun Square holding candles. In Tokyo, billboards once used for fashion ads now flash his image with a single word beneath: justice. Paris, London, New York, cities light up with murals of his face. Social media feeds overflow with documentaries, hashtags, and essays dissecting what went wrong. News anchors speak solemnly. For the first time in modern entertainment history, an artist's death has triggered a cultural reckoning across continents. And as images of vigils and protests play, the narrator's tone softens. Fame had failed him, but truth, that unstoppable force, has finally spoken for him. The untold footage. Then something unexpected. During the cleanup of Yu Menglong's apartment, investigators discover a sealed envelope labeled, "To my fans, if anything happens." Inside are a few handwritten pages and a hard drive. The footage, never before seen, plays across the documentary screen. It shows Yu Menglong alone in his dressing room, days before his death, tired but defiant. He looks directly into the camera. "If you're watching this," he says quietly, "it means I didn't make it. Don't let them silence the truth. Don't believe everything you see, not even me. Just look deeper." The screen fades to black. Audiences watching from theaters and streaming platforms fall into stunned silence. Many cry. Others sit motionless, whispering prayers under their breath. A journalist narrates. He knew. Somehow he knew. The awakening. Weeks after the documentary airs, a wave of transformation sweeps across Asia's entertainment world. Studios reopen under new management. Agencies establish mental health departments. Young actors begin demanding creative freedom clauses in their contracts, something once unthinkable. The narrator's last words echo like prophecy. They thought they ended him, but in truth, they only began his revolution. The screen fades to black again. A single sound remains, the hum of applause from around the world. Then silence. Not the silence of fear, but the silence of peace.